I got two types of precious metals here, right? I have a gold ring. It's worth about $117 in value. It's about 3.5 grams or so. And I also have $117 in silver coins. 68 silver dimes, right? This is how many targets you have to dig out to get $117 out of the ground, right? And with silver dimes, with silver coins, sure, you might hit on a really nice or a key date silver dime, but the deeper you go, the more chance that you have you're going to scratch that coin and it's going to be worth the same value as one of these just random silver coins, right? Mercury dime, right? See this target right here, this coin? This coin took me a lot longer to get out of the ground than this gold ring, right? Because it's deeper, right? Even though they're a little bit more evident, you know, you pretty much know when you're on silver because it gives you a certain number or it gives you that certain silver tone on your machines. You know, these guys have this huge fascination when they first get into metal detecting, you know. I want the deepest detector there is, you know. There's problems arise when you get the deepest detector. You have to dig deeper, right? And it's going to be a lot if your tones when you start going for the deeper targets. So you're going to start digging out some larger piece of iron or some flat piece of iron or a lot of nails. And they have this huge fascination with these deep-seeking metal detectors, you know. Even if you have a good metal detector, it's all about your coil selection, man. It's all about your coil selection, what you want to get out of the ground. And that's a lot of digging, man. That is a lot of hours of digging just these targets out to be equivalent to one target right here, right? And I had to dig a lot of iffy tones to get these targets out. This gold ring, they shine right out, right? And the thing with these gold rings and gold jewelry and silver rings and jewelry just in general is it's right near the surface, right? I'll show you. There's a paystreak in the ground, right? There's actually a couple different types of paystreaks, like in parks or schools. There's paystreaks around like the soccer fields or around the baseball diamonds or around picnic benches. You know, there's a definite line there. But there's also a paystreak all along the ground there, right? Can slaw, pull tabs, foil, right? I know there's a lot of can slaw that you have to go through to get these gold rings. But all it takes is one target like this. It takes you 1 minute to pull out of the ground. And it took me hours and hours to get all these out of the ground. And when you're spending time on the deeper targets, you know, because when you go for an iffy tone, maybe these might be on their edge or something. The reason why coins get on their edge is because the roots, you know, the roots can't really grab onto it much. And when coins are on their edge, you get a really iffy tone on it one way, right? You barely get a signal, barely get a response on that target. Then you go the other way, you get a little bit weirder, more of a weird response. Not all the coins are going to be laying flat in the ground. And also that's the same with rings too. But with rings, since it's near the surface, you're going to get a lot better response on that, you know, one way. And there's a paystreak, you know, there's a pay layer all along the surface in the parks, right? And it's a very rich pay layer because it has this stuff, right? Jewelry, gold, rings, silver rings. You know, in my soil's pretty hard, compacted clay, so not a lot of silver coins go deep. You know, this isn't the fact, like if you're in a farm field that's been plowed, you know, you want a bigger coil, or you want to dig those deeper targets because, you know, farm fields, the soil gets loosened up and the coins and all the jewelry can go deeper. But, you know, if you're hunting in the sand, you know, you gotta be able to dial in your detector or get the right coil. You know, I really like smaller coils because Once you get around some trash or whatnot, or once you get around some mineralized soil, if you have a larger coil, you're going to be that coil is, that search field is still going to be affected by all the minerals in the ground. So if you have a smaller coil, you have a much smaller profile of ground that you're getting feedback from. So you're going to get a little bit cleaner tone on the smaller coils. And if you can dial your detectors in just right, the smaller coils or the medium-sized coils can really outperform a lot of big coils. You know, they just have all these big coils that these guys are swinging around, just giant satellites, and they're hunting like in parks and stuff, and they're swinging really slow, and they're swinging slow for a reason, because the detector is a lot more unbalanced when you have a large coil, and when they want to go for the rich Paystreak right there, right, you're having to swing slower, so it's taking you longer to cover a given area, right? That's why if I want to go deep, I'll put my big coil on if I know that there's some deeper targets there, like if there's some silver, or if I've cleared out all this stuff, you know, all the can slaw, all the foil, all the pull tabs, all the gold rings, all the jewelry, and then I'll bring my big coil in and swing slow and get the deeper targets out, right? But to get these deeper targets out, you have to clean this stuff out of the ground first, right? You can't get to this stuff first, right? This stuff has got to come out of the ground first. So that pay layer there is a rich pay layer. This is the first few inches, because those grass roots really hold on to these rings, right? All those grass roots grab a hold of this and just hold it. The grass roots don't want to let those rings and that jewelry fall down below that layer of roots. With the coins, there's not really much to grab onto, you know? There's not the ring part, or there's not like a herringbone part that the roots can grab a hold to, so they just sink. And a lot of times they get on their edge, and they're a lot harder to detect. You have to go for a lot of iffies if you're going for coins on their edge. With the gold rings, you got to dig up a lot of foil, a lot of pull tabs, just dig it all. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.